Happy Monday, Evangel. I hope you had a great weekend. It was good to see so many of you yesterday at church. And we spent time talking about the importance of remembrance. And, if we've heard anything over and over again this past weekend, as we look at the 20th anniversary of 9/11, it is we must never forget. And I would agree with that. There's so much that is, as a child of God, where God calls us to remember, to memorialize. And the world desperately needs the children of God to make sense of what are tragic, horrific things that happen through the course of history. And so we have that hope. We have a hope in Jesus Christ. And so we should remember. And we talked about what to remember. We need to remember moments. Things change in a moment. And so we should live in a way that recognizes that fact, that one day Jesus will return. One day he will call us to himself. One day everything will be over. And so we want to live in this moment, recognizing that throughout history, things have changed very suddenly and many times unexpectedly. Other things to remember, the heroes. There were so many heroes on that day. So many who ran into the face of danger, and we don't want to forget them. We recognize in their self-sacrifice, Jesus' self-sacrifice, that is the demonstration of love. There is no greater love than when a man would lay down his life for a friend. And we see that in Jesus. So we can bring that sacrifice into context. And what a privilege it is to be able to honor the sacrifice of so many. The first responders, the healthcare workers, the EMTs, the paramedics, so many that gave and sacrificed their lives. So we remember heroes that were revealed in that moment. And then also we just recognize, because of the cost of those who sacrifice, that life is precious. And we don't want ever to lose sight of that. Every life is precious. And those relationships that we have and the people in our lives, we need to never take them for granted. And so we learn a lot in what we remember. But there's reasons why we remember. We remember because we want to honor our past. We want to honor those sacrifices, and so we don't want to forget. We honor so that we can understand the present. We see how God has worked in the past, and so we understand our present. We understand where our hope lies. And that understanding of hope feeds and guides us into the future. And so we remember for those reasons, because we always live with an eye toward the past, on the present, and looking toward the future. And it's informed by who God is. But I call one other thing to mind about why we remember and what we should remember. And I would say it this way. When we remember, we recognize how much we need each other. If there's something that we desperately need right now, is to recognize how much you and I need each other. Do you remember September 12th? Do you remember the day after and the days that followed, how everybody was so unified and they came together because there was this unifying event, that we didn't have enemies among us. We had friends. We had brothers and sisters. And so I would encourage you to remember that we need each other. And let me say it this way, I need you. And I'm so appreciative of you. So, well, I hope you have a wonderful week. I hope that these things encourage you as you go through the week. And remember, Jesus loves you. He walks with you. And we'll see you next week.